Hello everyone, my name is Rachel and I review everything. So last month we got our third and what I could only assume was our final installment in the Disney Channel's Descendants franchise, and I have to say, after watching this movie, I'm a little sad to see it coming to an end. I've now watched all three of the Descendants movies at one point, but this one, at least in my own opinion, was easily the best one. But real quick before I give you all of my thoughts, if you haven't already, please consider hitting that subscribe button and turning on notifications. That way you'll never have to miss another upload of mine, because I talk about all kinds of shows and movies just like this one, so you'll definitely want to stick around. So I'm not entirely sure if it's officially been said that this was the last Descendants movie, however it definitely seemed like it was intended to close everything out. This was the first out of all three to not feature the closing line, "You didn't think this was the end of the story, did you?" And then of course with the loss of Cameron Boyce this last July, who played Carlos, I really don't think there's any chance they'll be coming back for a fourth movie. I mainly wanted to watch this movie to honor Cameron Boyce in a very small scale way, because he was one of the few more current Disney Channel stars that I've actually really liked. He was always so charming in all of his roles and came off as just such a sweet and genuine person in real life, and he seemed like he was just a fun person to be around. It's really a shame we had to lose him so young. But we do thankfully have these movies to look back on, as well as other projects that he's done, so he'll definitely live on with us as we continue to enjoy those. But yeah, this movie blew me away. It once again is focused on Mal and her friends as they face, quote, their biggest challenge yet when a dark force threatens the people of Auradon. I hope I'm saying that right, because I have completely forgotten how it's pronounced in the movies. This dark force being Audrey, who oddly enough I found to be the most relatable character in this movie. Audrey started out as Ben's girlfriend in the first movie, and so she thought she was going to have all the things that Mal has now. She thought that she would end up being engaged to Ben and that she would become queen, but because of Mal she lost out on all of those things. Everything she thought she ever wanted was taken away from her, and she's now forced to watch Mal live out the life that was supposed to be hers. So she's become frustrated and bitter. Her whole motivation for becoming a villain is just to hurt those that she feels has hurt her. And you know, I think there are a lot of us who have felt something similar to that at some point in our lives. I also really liked that this movie was focused on more of a bigger picture this time around, rather than so much of Mal and Ben. While the two did get engaged, it was mostly about the group coming together in an effort to save the people of Auradon from Audrey. But there was also Mal keeping a decision that she made to close the barrier a secret from her friends. Her friends, of course, not wanting to close the barrier because they want the kids on the Isle to have the same opportunities that they've had. So not only do I feel that Descendants 3 offers the best story of the trilogy, but I also feel that it features the best music. There are a lot of surprisingly good songs that I've actually continued listening to after watching the movie. Audrey's Queen of Mean was most definitely my favorite song in the entire thing, and almost all of these songs have a strong hip-hop vibe, which I was totally into. But staying somewhat on the topic of music, one of the big reveals this time around was that Hades is actually Mal's father. And the two of them had a song together called Do What You Gotta Do, which was a lot of fun, and maybe it's just me, but I kind of got a weird vibe from it. I felt like their interactions came off almost as a couple that had broken up and now hate each other. Obviously in the song they reference him being her father several times, but if you took those references out, even the song would seem that way. So if you've seen this movie, let me know if you got that vibe from it at all, or if it was just me. Another thing I really enjoyed about this movie was that it had some moments that really made me laugh. When Audrey turned Mal into the old hag, that cracked me up so hard. You know, I'm really starting to think that I like Audrey a little more than I should. I honestly do think this was the Disney Channel's best movie in a long time, and rating it on the Disney Channel scale, I'm going to give this one 5 out of 5 stars. It was everything that it needed to be, and the messages were clear for your kids, preteens, and even some younger teenagers. Overall, I think they really went out on top here and gave us their best movie, and in my opinion, their best music, and without taking it to the theaters for the final installment like High School Musical did. I still have not seen that third movie the whole way through because of it coming out in theaters instead of plain old TV. But if any of you happen to watch this movie, definitely let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. And as always, you can follow me over on Twitter at rr_everything, where I talk about all kinds of shows and movies and also post updates on future videos. But with all that being said, I'm Rachel, and that was my review of Descendants 3.